Ink-a-dink, 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 ink-a-dink. Wow! Okay, so we're back. Welcome to Basil BuddhaCat Presents. It's a gorgeous Sunday morning out there, and we're going to spend a little time talking about it. We haven't really given... What, Basil? Oh, okay. Hold on. Said he couldn't... Well, let me quote him first. Said, with that guard, I can't see you. Well, how about now? Can you see me? Hear me now? Can you see me now? Okay. Okay, so, blessed Sunday morning. Good morning to Basil BuddhaCat Presents. I'm David Stevenson, Basil's co-host, interpreter, and chief gopher, along with the host of the show, Basil BuddhaCat. And Basil says we haven't spent enough time. We've been spending so much time doing our Basil-A-Thon, talking about Stephen Colbert, that we've missed out on another very important parallel telethon. It's been a telethon to raise funds through the auspices of Patriot Update, The Godfather Politics, and some other crazed lunatic blogs that Basil likes to check in on and have a little fun at their expense. But apparently they've been doing a parallel telethon, except what they're raising money for is they're raising money for the Joe Arpaio, Sheriff Joe Arpaio Evidentiary Fund. And apparently that telethon's in its 1,824th booby days. So, no, come on now. Tweety, Sylvester, stop it. Tweety, Snarky. So it's in its 1,824th day, and they're raising money to help their good friend Sheriff Joe Arpaio gather evidence to show that that President Barack Hussein Obama is apparently only 3 words right out of 4, and that President Obama does not. Now, come on now, Tweety. Now we know that our friend Kevin Gallagher did not do this, so we know that it's our camera and our sound editors, Snarky and Tweety, that did this, and then it reads, "Bad cat uses bird planet," and okay, now guys, we interviewed you on the last show, spent some time talking to you. Basil asked you some very important questions, and it's time to move along with the next show. So, so at any rate, apparently there's been this telethon going on for 1,824 days, and they've raised quite a bit of money to help, amongst other things, Sheriff Joe Arpaio in Arizona raise enough funds to prove that, in fact, as I said, President Barack Hussein Obama is only Barack Hussein Obama. Okay. We have Walter here in the audience, and can we cut right to the chase, or do we have to start doing the commercials first, Basil? We need to. And you said we try to avoid. Okay, hold on. Okay. It's a mid-size phone this time, so it's a guest of some note. Good morning. Thank you for calling Basil BuddhaCat Presents, and a blessed Sunday morning to you. Basil. It's Tweety. Check the knockers and check and see if actually we've got Sheriff Joe Arpaio's wife on the phone. Hold on, we're checking. We're just making sure. We want to make sure we have the proper person we're talking to. Tweety says, "Yeah, it's a go. It's actually last time we got a call in from Sheriff Joe Arpaio's wife. It turned out to be Sheriff Joe Arpaio pretending to be his wife, and we figured that out because when we asked our call-in what her real name was, what her real first name was, she said her real first name was Sheriff Joe Arpaio's wife. Now, this time, okay, we know because she said her real name is Dolores. And the reason why Joe Arpaio has a good memory for what his wife's name is, what her real first name is because it rhymes with his Seinfeld body part, or a body part as noted on Seinfeld. And okay. So, yes, Dolores. So what, okay, she's saying that she's getting a little tired of having her husband out of the office and out of the state, raising money for his important work. She recognizes it as being important work, says it's important. But wait a second. Okay, Basil says we've got to do we've got to take care of business here. We've got to fill the till, so to speak. So hold on a second. We're going to try you back in another minute. We got to do our fill the till stuff first. Hold on. Okay. Let's see. What do we have here? So let's start with. I don't think it's the same. Is this the same purported Tootsie Roll that I scooped up last time and took a bite out of on Friday night? Basil says. Said, I don't care. Just take a bite. I think it is. I think it is actually, because we had some concern about whether this Tootsie Roll, which seems a bit misshapen, was actually a Tootsie Roll. But I think it is, and I'm going to take a chance and no, sure, it's a real Tootsie Roll. Okay, so good. And then we have to hold up the fun-size Tootsie Roll. And they say it's fun-size because apparently when the Tootsie Rolls were big, when we were kids, we got the Tootsie Rolls amongst other candies given to us at Halloween. And it's not on those Tootsie Rolls. This candy's a drag. Forget it. Don't eat this stuff. We did anyway. But now kids can enjoy the fun size Tootsie Roll. Okay, onward. Now we added this corporate sponsor in our Friday night show. And apparently there's some discussion and some confusion and some debate as to whether this tube of clear liquid, which says on the back of it, uses for hand sanitizing. And on the front of it, it says Matrix Corporate Center. Now Basil and I attended an event on Thursday at the Matrix Corporate Center, and had a little food, had a little fun, and part of our goodie bag was this tube. And we got a call in Friday night from a fellow named Neo. And Neo claims that this is an incorrect logo for Matrix Corporate Center. In fact, there is a much more important Matrix out there, and absolutely. And but well, okay, hold on. What? No, I guess I have to go on and answer the phone. Thank you for calling Basil BuddhaCat Presents. Hey, hon, what's the dude's name that plays Neo?
Keanu.
Keanu Reeves. Okay. Just checking to see if you knew what your name was. Tweety is giving us a double wing up. So that means, yep, she's checked the phone number and it matches. I always wanted to ask you, we have Keanu Reeves on the phone, apparently. I've always wanted to ask you, are you related to George Reeve? Keanu says, Reeves, Reeve. Come on, can't you tell the difference? Well, okay. So at any rate, so you have something to add to the discussion? Okay. He says that as he's suing the Matrix, wherever that went to, the Matrix Corporate Center for stealing the name from his movie. And actually, he's not. Well, check that little. Okay. It's actually not Keanu Reeves who's suing Matrix Corporate Center. It's the other company, the movie makers, whichever studio that did the Matrix. And Basil reminds me, don't forget about Matrix 2. Matrix 3, and Matrix 4, which was subtitled, better get used to the name because we got a few more coming. So you do intend, in fact, or somebody intends to take it up with a lawsuit in order to protect the copyright of the film. Okay, fair enough. Let us know how you make out of that. Thanks for calling. And let's see. We also, I guess we've ditched the 8-ball, which of course had the number 12 on it. So we had to advertise that as 8-ball. Now, with 50% more 8-ball. But we do have the our standby paw root beer, and a little bit for Basil. You can get your imaginary straw out and take a sip of that. And Schweppes. Schweppernesses. Lemon lime sparkling spring water. Take a little sip of that. So at any rate, let's talk a little bit more about this important telethon going on. And apparently, it's not going on in Arizona, but it's happening simultaneously in the other 49 states via cable feed. And Sheriff Joe Arpaio needs your help. And he says that he's gathering money together because if he can just get another mill out of you guys, he might be able to actually finish off his package of evidence and show that President Barack Hussein Obama, the title, trademark, is only 3/4 right. That in fact, President doesn't apply. So who started their telethon first, or he or us? For us. Basil says, well, we only had like 300 episodes of Telethon, so, or as Basil preferred to call it, the Basil-A-Thon. So in fact, so how did they do? I mean, we raised a boatload of money for the Stephen T. Colbert Defense Fund, and in fact, not only that, but we got him a gig on as being the replacement part for David Letterman on Late Show with David Letterman. And then, just as an added attraction, we got Craig Ferguson to quit. Well, he's retiring at the end of the year as the host of the Late Show with Craig Ferguson. And we got dibs on. We already got an advance payment on Jeffrey. We got Jeffrey coming, but here's a little pre-Jeffrey. And apparently, we got the pig as an advance payment on the eventually getting a secretariat for our show, Craig Ferguson's horse secretariat. So no, we are not. Let's see. You gave them a little bit of an opportunity, and now look at what they're doing to us. Well, what they're doing to you, Basil. You see this? It says Bad Cat Sheep uses Bird Planet. And that's, I had to throw an extra couple of blank letters in there, I guess, because there are only 22 letters in Basil BuddhaCat Presents. And I'm counting 22 letters plus a couple of asterisks. And I guess they needed the asterisks for the counting shit. And that reminds me, Tootsie Roll. Now, combining with Hershey's Kisses to make the grossest looking candy ever created. Okay, Sheriff Joe Arpaio. You said he couldn't stay. Said he couldn't keep doing that telethon for what is it now? 1,824 episodes. Do you have any idea how much money he's raised? Basil says, says he's raised $36,972,847 make that 8 pesos. So how does that translate out? What he says, Basil says, says by the time you counted the entire stack of them in their dollar equivalents, you could probably make a reach out to the spirit world and get some good response to all of this, or good response to something. And thank you, Bill Murray. Bill's still with us in the audience. He's had his hammock out for a few months now, and he's having a good time. Okay. Hold on. Wrong number. Oh, there we go. Thank you for calling Basil BuddhaCat Presents. Basil, do you want to take another call from Marco Rubio's grandfather? Basil says, look, if it makes the old man happy in his place of rest in the Hialeah Cemetery, go for it. Okay. Actually, I think Senator Marco Rubio's grandfather, Rubio del Rubio, is has a little plot in Fidel Castro's Garden of Communist Evil, and it's worth a walk there every once in a while, apparently, and to tread on his mortal enemy, who was Rubio, etc., yada, yada, yada. So, So we have Marco Rubio's grandfather on the phone, and you're ready to talk about it, huh? Okay. He says if you look at Godfather Politics, the blog, you'll find that Senator Marco Rubio apparently gave a speech, which was, in the words of the writers at Godfather Politics, I think it was Onan Coca that wrote, a game changer. That all of a sudden now, Senator Marco Rubio can be forgiven for his, not for his claim that his parents came to America to escape Castro, because we know that's a lie. Oh shoot, he heard me, hung up. Well, maybe he'll call back. But at any rate, so it was a game changer, according to Onan Coca on Godfather Politics. He says we can now safely, or they can now safely forgive Senator Marco Rubio for his delusional thoughts about actually putting forth an immigration bill so that people that are in the country without documentation can actually become U.S. citizens if they jump through enough hoops and do enough stuff and clean Onan Coca's and Mitt Romney's bathroom enough times. Then we can forgive them, or they can forgive them, and perhaps even present him as a viable presidential candidate. Well, he's back. So that's well, you didn't ring in again. No, we gotta go through proper channels. Hold on a second. Hold on. Okay. It's Marco Rubio's grandfather again. Tweety has confirmed that we have the proper sequence of zeros and ones to show that we've actually reached the portion of the hereafter. And are you? The last time we spoke, or actually when we spoke to your mortal nemesis Pancho Villa and his cat Villa Pancho. You and Pancho Villa were really getting into it about this notion about whether or not your children, the parents of Senator Marco Rubio, came to America on a time schedule consistent with the upcoming takeover by the notorious Fidel Castro, or whether it was actually long before Castro started the revolution. He says, look, let's put that notion to rest. Who cares? Doesn't matter. Just a little slip up on my grandson's part in order to help him make an interesting narrative to become elected senator from Florida. By the time the election comes up again, by the time he's up for re-election, everyone will have forgotten those that faux pas. Okay, hold on. Still there? Okay. So back to Sheriff Joe Arpaio, and he's made quite a name for himself. He's the darling of the Tea Party crowd, and a blessed Sunday morning. Thank you for calling Basil BuddhaCat Presents. It's actually, this time the voice sounds, it's like before, sounds like a man's voice. And this time it's Sheriff Joe Arpaio, and he's saying that, hey, if that Hispanic guy came clean, I would have come clean, he says. He says it was actually, all along, it was him calling in to claim to be his wife calling in, when in fact it was he who was calling in. It was actually Sheriff Joe Arpaio calling in, and And he says, look, you get caught up in the frenzy of the moment and you sometimes want to exaggerate a little bit. But he says he thinks he may in fact have the final evidence. And he got that final evidence almost by accident. He said he was standing by the Rio Grande, and or as he calls it, the big friggin' river. And lo and behold, he realized that in fact he was wrong. That he's been searching for evidence that, as it turns out, doesn't exist. And well, does that mean you're going to Basil's nudging me with his whiskers. He says, let me put it out to him. Okay, Basil's saying he's posing this to Sheriff Joe Arpaio. Says, does this mean you're going to stop your Arpaio-Thon and stop collecting money? Well, Sheriff Joe Arpaio, now identifying him truthfully as Sheriff Joe Arpaio rather than as his wife, who went by the first name. Was it Dolores, or was the first name? No, Basil says we're going to stick with it, her first name being Sheriff Joe Arpaio's wife, and last name, of course, Arpaio. He says that says he's traveling around the country and having a good time, and he's going to keep on collecting money. You'll find something to something to put that money to good use for. But with that, we're going to have to what, Basil? Basil says adjust my slippers a little bit. Okay, hold on. How's that? Okay, we're letting your pig loose too. Okay, with that, we're going to bid you a good Sunday morning. This is David Stevenson, and I am Basil's co-host, interpreter, and chief gopher, and of course the indomitable Basil BuddhaCat, and this has been Basil BuddhaCat Presents, and hey, enough of that, come on. Twitty and Snarky are at it again. Have a blessed morning. Bye.
They say they'd rob your grandma blind on Wall Street, fritter her away her Medicare on Wall Street. And Pharma Oil and their pet fox don't care if she lives in a box, so long as they wear platinum jocks on Wall Street, Meow.